What do you think of this? I said earlier on opening statements that this guy made such a legal mess for himself. I wonder that if he had just been truthful, told police that he had the knife, it was his, not made up the story about disarming one of the kids, taking it from them, pretending like he didn't remember what happened, tossing the knife away on the bank of the river there. If he would have just been honest, if he would be on trial today, I don't think he would be. Let me bring back in my guest, criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf. Jeffrey, let's talk about that. Had this guy just owned his behavior confidently and also somberly, recognizing that Isaac Schumann was killed, that it was an act in self-defense, as he says, I wonder if he would have even been charged, and if they had charged him, I certainly don't think it would be with murder. It may be with something, far lesser, maybe a manslaughter, maybe even an involuntary. I'm not sure. But could we go back in time and talk about that? What are your thoughts as a criminal defense attorney? I'm sure you've had clients make their own situations worse. Do you think this guy made things worse for himself?
Well, I have a hard time assuming best intent out of police and out of prosecutors as a criminal defense attorney. We see him there in this interview, and he's already wearing the county oranges. So he's already in a hole. But what I always tell my clients is the last thing you want to do when you're in a hole is dig it deeper. And what he's doing for himself by making up these lies is making it harder for his lawyer later. Because what he should know, having lived through the incident himself, is that there's going to be cell phone camera here. Because he should know that those kids had their phones out and they were taping the whole incident. And so that should tell him that he can't run from what happened in the fashion that he's doing it here. He can't just make up a whole cloth lie. So that means you do one of two things. The best advice any person will ever get from any lawyer is shut up. Invoke your Fifth Amendment right to silence and talk to your lawyer. That's the best thing you can do. Once you're in custody and talking to a cop, is just to not talk. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. Let your lawyer speak for you. That is the best advice you will ever get. Not to come clean and hope for the best intent of the police and the DA to do the right thing. That's number one. Number two is if you are going to speak and you did act in self-defense, is to stick to the truth. Because if you're going to come to trial and tell the truth later, you can't explain away the lie as easily as you can stick to the truth and hope for the jury to do the right thing. Because now what he's asking the jury to do is to disregard the fact that he was previously a liar and assume him to be telling the truth now. And that's a harder thing to ask the jury to do than to buy the truth now that you told previously. So he is digging a deeper hole. But the number one thing to everyone out there listening, once they have you in an interrogation room, shut up. The magic words are, I am not speaking without an attorney. I am choosing to remain silent. That will never be used against you. The truth or the lie will, period.
Right. Amen. Amen. Preach, Jeffrey. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit a break. Jeffrey, stand by, please.